Man, it's the first video in a long time, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm gonna just get straight to it, man. Stop. I feel like the problem that we have as people, bro, is that we don't understand that we don't all have the same purpose. Like, we all do not have the same purpose. Like, your purpose may be different from mine. Your lifestyle may be different from mine because of you subconsciously knowing what you're here to do. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we have people in life where it's like we meet these people and they're like, they treat you a certain way because of the fact that they don't know who they are, but you know who you are. And it be genuinely even your own people. It'd be like your family, or like it'd be people that you grew up with that really don't understand you for who you are and play their role, so to speak, until the time comes when their energy is going to evaporate, or so to speak, or just leave. You feel me? Like, a lot of people, hey! But a lot of people don't really understand that. Like, people don't understand that. You feel me? Like, people don't understand that if you are not on the same type of timing, whereas y'all not like divinely united to where y'all going to the same place, y'all not gonna get there. One of y'all gonna fall. One of y'all gonna fall, or y'all gonna fall out. It just is what it is. Like, it could be family, it could be friends, like it could be anybody. But it's like, it all depends on like the totality of everybody and how everybody feels in that moment. You feel me? People change every day. People don't even have the same mindset every day. People wake up thinking that it's the same day before. So as a result, they can't manifest anything, or anything different doesn't happen for them. You get what I'm saying? Like, nothing ever happens for you. So it's like, it gets to the point where it's like, at that, like, you don't do anything. Like, you don't change, you don't evolve, like, you don't get new information, or like, you're not actually making the attempt to try to be better. And some people do end up trying to be better, but they don't do it in a way that's actually constructive for them and actually the actual totality of their purpose. People don't know their purpose. And you may ask me like, well, how do you know your purpose? Well, how do I know my purpose? Is me actually having the intention in my mind to sit here and say, I want to find out what it is. You get what I mean? And I'll give you an example. Sometimes you'll go through life and you'll meet certain people. You'll meet different types of individuals that may end up teaching you something. They may just be there for a karmic reason that you need to understand, because you created it for yourself. You created it. Whether you want to admit it or not, like, you actually created that situation where y'all are now joining together, but only for a specific reason, only for a specific purpose. And people don't understand that. You get what I mean? People don't understand that. And you can judge that based off of the situation, you know, like transactions that happen between y'all in y'all relationships. Whether it be when y'all out by yourselves, like the dynamic of everything. And that's how you decide if really people is for you or not, and if they're on the same path as you. It's not about sitting here saying, well, you know, having a closed mindset to feel that everyone is exactly the same, because everyone isn't the same. Everyone is different. Everyone has all the same knowledge, but experienced it in different ways. That's God. That's God. God is all-knowing, but has not experienced all things. You get what I mean? I could be a person that knows everything in the world about astronomy. I can tell you the distance between planets. I can tell you the exact distance between planets. I can tell you the compositions of the planets. I can tell you the properties of which these components actually intertwine and interact with each other on a molecular level. I can tell you all these things. But at the end of the day, have I experienced it is the question. No, you haven't experienced it. You haven't. You haven't. And that's what people have to understand, is that experience should be what we bring together and build on top of. Not just sitting here saying I know better than you, or I know better than you, I know better than you because I may have had this experience. Well, I don't know what you have experienced though. I don't know what you experienced. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've seen. I don't know what you've accomplished, what you have thought of. I don't know these things. So how can I judge you if I don't even know you? How can I judge you? How can I honestly judge you as a person? I can't do that. My body and my mind is just too tapped into self for me to even be able to place that judgment on you. Because if I do that to you, I'm doing it to myself. Everyone is a representation of you. Everyone is a representation of you. Everyone is almost identical to you in some way, shape, or form. They just have a different type. They're just playing it out in a different way because of their label. And mind you, labels don't mean anything. You can walk about somebody's life right now. What does that even matter to them? What does it matter to you? What does it matter? At the end of the day, you can walk about somebody's life right now and not give a fuck. Excuse my language, but not care. You cannot care. Because it's all just labels. So what brings people together? People don't even know what brings you together sometimes. And that sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, because you don't know what brings people together, what brings this person to you, because you manifested them. Because you don't know that, certain things is gonna play out. And if you're not aware of that, it's gonna get to a point where you're literally living in cycles, generational curses. Happening the same shit happening over and 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 over again until God has finally experienced enough to where he actually knows what the actual problem really is. So when if I say I am God, that does not mean I am the totality of God. That only simply means I have self-realized to a point where I am self-accountable of me. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do, because you're gonna play your purpose out either way it go. It's kind of like if I made you take a left, and I made him take a right, but y'all still regardless going straight. Y'all still regardless going north. Y'all just took two different ways. So regardless of if I do that or not, you're going to play your purpose out either way it go. Either way it go, you're going to play your role out. And people don't understand that either. Like, people don't understand that. Like, you're going to play your role out either way it go. Either way it go, you're going to do it. It's just I'm judging your purpose based off of how you moving right now. That's literally it. Like, some people get to a point where they don't even want to grow anymore. They want to just be still. They just want to be comfortable. They just want to stay in one spot. They just want to stay here. They don't want to go off and do other things in life. They don't want to learn other things because they feel like I've accomplished my purpose. Like literally. Like if you break it down to the nitty gritty of the science of it, the mental science of it, it literally is. You just realizing you know your purpose. You don't want to do anything more than that because that is your purpose. You don't see anything else. And that's not wrong. That's not wrong. That's actually not bad. Everyone has a role. Everyone has a role to play. That's why we are all God. We are all one. We are all in the totality of everything. We are all one. We are all components of one. So that doesn't mean I'm better than you, or I know better than you, or I know more than you. I actually want to learn from you. I actually want to be collab with you. And shout out to 19 Keys, because he made a video about this where he says people essentially don't want to collab. They want to be in competition. That is our people. We more so rather be in competition with each other and size each other up than actually collab with this person to see, well, what is he trying to create? What is he trying to accomplish? What actually matters? What does actually matter? What actually matters? Like, ask yourself that question, like, right now. Like, what actually matters? You strip all that shit down to the side. You strip all that down to the side. You literally take everything and just put it to the side for a second. What matters? What matters? And I feel like at the end of the day, if we can just come to that understanding, I feel like as people, as everyone, we can accomplish so much more, because it's not like I'm greater than you or I'm more than you, or I feel like I have some type of power that you may not know. I don't. I have gifts and strengths that I may have that my brothers may not have. But I have people in my life, and shout out to them, they know who they are. They have things that they are good at that I'm not good at. I may know something that they may not know. They may know something I may not know. That's what God in the totality of God is. It's not some white man in the sky coming down to save you. Save you from who? Save you from what? Yourself? Once you realize the totality of who God really is / she is, then you understand that none of that even exists. None of that even matters. None of that even matters. I could do a whole video on it. Like, I can literally do a whole video on it. Like, it literally breaks down even to that point. And even in that aspect of even religion bringing us even much more away from each other than actually closer together. Because of what? We always are operating out of competition rather than collaboration, and not exactly admitting the fact that I am no better than you. I am no better than you. You have the same capabilities as me, and I have the same capabilities as you. And that's what our people do not understand. People don't understand that. People don't want to acknowledge that. People don't want to sit here and actually say, you know what? You actually is good at this. Let me learn from you. Or, you know, I'm good at this. Why? Let's start a business. Or, you know what, bro? I got you, bro. People are always in competition, bro. When is it gonna end? Like, when is it really gonna end? Like, when is it gonna end to where it's like we are not looking at each other as enemies? I'm not your enemy. I'm your equal. You are not my brother. You are my equal. You get what I mean? You're my equal. And I feel like that's what our people are missing. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Like, to be honest with you, like, I feel like that's what really our people are missing. Like, we don't wanna work together. Our people rather go off and do their own thing because they feel like they know better. The whole time, like, you're literally isolating yourself from information, from literally God's consciousness growing, sorry. That's literally all it is. God knows everything. He just has not experienced everything. So once you start sharing experiences, even though you already have the same knowledge, it gets to a point where you both are growing. You both are actually learning more and more and more from each other. And that's what our people are missing. But those are my thoughts. You know, it is what it is. You know, I feel like we're not, until we get to a point where, you know, I'm not praying on your downfall. I actually want to see you win. I feel like until we get to that point, in time is when this shit would just keep going on. Excuse my language. This would just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on to the point where we would literally have kids and grandkids and nephews and nieces and other family members really not getting it, like not getting the pattern, not understanding the pattern, like not acknowledging the pattern, like literally living in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. Literally people that we know and love living in ignorance, and no one wanting to acknowledge it or say, I am wrong, I have to change for the betterment of myself and for my people. And it doesn't have to just be, it doesn't have to be for the totality of every black person that actually exists and will exist. You may not want to think that large. You can just say, for my people, the people that's in my innate reality. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But everyone has to be on that page. Everyone has to be on page 1. You can't be on page 10 already knowing all this information, and then because you know it, when someone's on page 2, you're chastising them. You're making them feel less of a woman or less of a man. And sometimes I've had to check myself and say, I cannot do that because of the fact that I know too much. You may know too much. You know how to conduct yourself. You know the totality of how being respectful and how energy works, and how being just not necessarily the bigger person, so to speak, but being the person that knows and is not going to create that level of energy, because you know the totality of yours. You get what I'm saying? That's why you may not want to do certain things even though you damn well fucking could. That's what I mean. So at the end of the day, I feel like we just have to get to that understanding and say that, instead of looking at you as like, instead of looking at you and saying, I want what you got out of envy, because motivation and envy is there's a thin line. Shout out to my mans that he know who he is. Shout out to my mans, word to bro. But there's a thin line between envy and motivation. It's all perspective. And depending on how you're looking at things, it can either be a constructive or destructive perspective. No matter how you even looking at it through that angle. Because you may say, well, this has worked for me. Well, how do you know it is working for you? How do you know? You can manifest everything physically in this reality as you want, but how do you genuinely know that it's working for you? How do you genuinely know? Like, how do you know that this is real? Like, how do you actually know? How do you actually know? You didn't know what a millionaire was until someone told you. You didn't know. You didn't know who Bill Gates was before someone told you. You didn't know who Mansa Musa was before they told you. You probably didn't even know who Mansa Musa even really is until I just told you. You see what I'm saying? And then you're probably gonna go look that up, and now you know. Now you're gonna know. Now, and from that point, you're gonna go off and find even more information down to the point where now your consciousness is now, and your awareness is growing larger than what you can actually interpret. Because there's just so much information that you have yet to uncover. Because someone told you something. That's my video, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a messenger, bro. With a message. That's all I gotta really say, Peace to the gods and goddesses of Gaia. Peace to the gods and goddesses that are out there tuning in, You came to this video probably for a reason. So, and if I, you know what it is. So, Peace, peace. Peace and love.